hang out in the back of the buildings and so on when the boys would come out, just like a lot of the other fans. Did you used to do that, by the way? Hang out in the back?
So as a kid, I would stand outside the Garden, sometimes before the matches, sometimes after. Sometimes we didn't even buy a ticket, and we just stand out there all night because it was a lot of fun. Interesting side note, the door at the Garden where the wrestlers and the Knicks and the Rangers, etc., would walk in was 7 feet tall. It was clearly designated, and Andre the Giant did not have to duck. He was under 7 feet tall, for those who care about such minutia. But anyway, as a kid, we would be out there, and Andre and Dusty Rhodes would never, ever sign for the kids, and George Steele and Lou Albano and Superstar Graham and most of the villains would. So it was like your earliest, like getting smartened up, quote unquote, it's like, wow, Lou Albano's a nice guy, and, Dusty isn't that nice, so it was right, a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a blast back in the days. My dad would drop me off early, whether it be Asbury Park Convention Hall or the Spectrum or the different high school shows and so on. I'd get there early and meet the guys when they came in. And back to what I was saying, the only way to know about a newsletter would be to meet somebody, to meet another fan, that followed the newsletter. And it was so difficult to get insider news if you were on the outside back then. And today it's just readily available.
Yeah, it was very primitive Xerox newsletters or sheets or dirt sheets, whatever you'd like to call them. And basically you'd meet somebody outside an arena and they'd have one in their back pocket and you'd go, what's that? And they'd show it to you. And, even the very earliest observers looked very primitive and nothing was slick. And this, of course, was pre-internet. I mean, they had sheets going back to the 70s. They'd have a lot of clippings from around the country and results. But again, this was like your really first experience at getting smartened up, because you'd say, wait a second, Fred Blassie is hated in New York and he's loved in L.A. Like, what's going on here? And, you kind of piece it all together, yeah.
Right, exactly. It was the first. Now, let me